rooftop rambler singing us in every morning. What's happening one street over from where you living? That's what we're looking to. That's what we're trying to figure out. It's cold. That's what's happening one street over from where you're living. It's on your street and everything, and it's just so cold. And of course, everybody's like, well, are we going to be out of school? Are we going to go to school? It's so cold. I heard so much speculation about, could it be too cold to not go to school? I don't think this is it. I know there's some surrounding counties. I think Cheatham might be, or I had heard a few counties out, but just bundle those kiddos up, put them on the bus. Buses will be warm, or drop them off if you think it's too cold. And then the schools are nice and warm, I promise. And a lot of the kids are, some of the rooms that are a little cold, you just keep a jacket on or something. It'll be just fine. I guess the thing is, I can see you don't want to use those days, guys. We're still not through January, and we could get snow all the way through to mid-March, into March, that could call off school. And we only get 10 days. And I don't know about you, as a teacher, I really don't want to have to make up days at the end, at the end of the school year. So, yeah, they're trying to conserve those days. I don't blame them for it. So I'm in agreement. Yes, you need to be in school today. So Gina Head's in the house. What do you say? What do you think? Should the kids be in school today, or do you think it's just too cold?
No, I think they should go to school today.
Yes, you're a farm girl like me. You're like, yes, they need to be in school. Of course, they need to be in school. But that's you've heard people talking about that.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. That's the big thing. It's like, should we or should we not? It's like, yes, go to school. But Gina's here. She is to talk about that. Y'all have got your memorial run coming up, and this is a cold weather run. Tip that microphone right into your face there, if you would.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a cold weather run, and when we started this, we said, well, it's near the date that Tyler was killed,
right.
And plus it's usually the first run or 5K first run of the year.
Right.
So that's kind of the reason we kept going with it being in February.
I gotcha. But I think that's good. I was a runner, when I've had all these joint replacements. One of the primary reasons why I had to do that is I was a runner until I was in my 50s. Not as dedicated as some of the ones you see that run every day, but I'd always have seasons where I would run, and so I've always been a runner. And so when I would be in a season where I was being real disciplined and not missing a day, I didn't care how cold it was.
Oh yeah.
I'd be out there in the heat. I'd be out there in 100-degree weather. I'd be out there in sub-zero weather.
Right.
Because once you're going, it's just it's a discipline, and you're just part of it. So and I think you've had decent weather.
Oh yeah, you never know what the weather's really going to be on February 1st, but it's not really. It hasn't been really cold.
Yeah.
I think the first year we had it, there was snow falling that morning, but then the sun came out and everything, and it got okay.
Yeah.
But COVID kept us from doing it one year, and we just sort of did a fundraiser for selling the T-shirts that we have. But this is the 13th annual. Tyler was killed February 3rd of 2012.
Yeah.
And so this is the 13th annual, and we're still got it going. The monies raised goes towards Crohn's and colitis research, which Tyler had, and you would have never known he had it. He just wouldn't let it get him down.
Right.
And then to the Tyler Jackson Head APSU Memorial Scholarship at APSU.
Because he was at Austin P at the time, right?
Yes.
He was studying at Austin P.
Yes.
Just tell him what happened for those of you that might not know the story, because I had heard of the run and different things, but I didn't really know the story as, to the degree you filled me in last year. So why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about Tyler?
Well, Tyler and his friend Lucas were on the way to school at APSU on that Friday morning, and he was hit by a impaired driver.
Yeah.
Impaired in many ways, and there on Madison Street, and so they hit him head on.
Yeah.
And Tyler was killed instantly. And Lucas, his friend, was hurt very badly. He spent many weeks in rehab and hospital and then rehab. So that's anytime that, there's anything that comes up that people are apt to be driving drunk or impaired or whatever, I'm always posted, please don't drive, impaired, don't do it anytime, but, when like New Year's, July 4th, holidays and stuff like that, it's more apt for people to be doing something like that.
Right. But people would be stunned if you knew how many people. The death toll of people that are killed by impaired drivers is breathtaking.
It is,
It
and it's one of
really
the
is. And
most preventable
yeah,
crimes, that there is.
and you said it right, a crime.
It is. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And I just, having done traffic, for so many years, for 28 years, if you're a newbie, the whole U-turn LaVern thing and all that, I was a traffic reporter for 28 years. And I've always told people the most dangerous thing you do every single day is get behind the wheel of your car. I was at my children's house the other day, and my son said that to his family, and they just kind of rolled their eyes because he says it all the time. I thought because he's heard it his whole life.
Yeah.
And I've always reminded them that is the most dangerous thing you do. And because I'm listening to dispatch, I can't even imagine what our dispatchers go through and what they have to see because our first responders, I should say. Dispatchers hear a lot too, but having to listen to the details coming from a wreck scene and knowing that a life just ended, or seeing cameras, like we would watch it on the news. We would watch the cameras on the highways, and I would see a wreck, and I would just think moments before that person was alive, and now I know they're gone based upon what I'm hearing on dispatch. Just seeing that year after year after year really drives it home for me. And when I meet somebody like you that had that tragic phone call, it breaks my heart. It does. There's just no. There's no words. There's no words. But it's
no, and the phone call was from a Clarksville chaplain who could not really even speak English.
Oh, God bless.
And all they would have done. Tyler had on his IDs and everything on him. He had a military ID that my husband is. His stepfather is in the military. They could have called him, but I got a phone call from a non-English speaking chaplain telling me my son was deceased, and all they'd had to done was call Springfield Police Department, and somebody from the police department could have come to me
personally,
yeah,
rather than getting that phone call.
Yeah.
That's not good, and that typically I don't think happens. I think they usually show up in person, but that's not good.
No, it's not good.
That's awful. I'm just so sorry, Gina. I'm just so sorry.
I hit the floor.
I'm sure. I can't even imagine.
And but we, I think one of the main things is that we didn't want Tyler to be forgotten.
I got you.
That is a nightmare. I mean, the nightmare of a child's death is one thing, and then your fear is that your child will be forgotten.
Yeah.
And Tyler was such a vibrant person. He entered the room and the room lit up, and everything like that. So that is one thing, the reason we kept it. We wanted to keep his memory alive. We wanted to have something good come out of what had happened. And that's how the Tyler Jackson Head 5K fun run. A lot of people walk. It's not all running.
Yeah.
I'd say more people walk than they do run, because the people who have supported us are not all runners. And I can't say enough for the support that we've had all these years from everybody who shows up, rain or shine, cold weather, warm weather, good weather, COVID or not COVID,
Right.
They have supported us, and we've gotten the scholarship at APSU is endowed now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And so half of the monies goes, like I said, to the scholarship, because it just kind of keeps adding money on top of it, of what was endowed, which you had to get to $25,000 to be endowed.
Right.
And then, of course, I'm praying that the way we set it up, and I'm praying it's still going that way. All the monies that goes to Crohn's and colitis is for research. It doesn't go to anybody's salaries or anything like that. That was one thing that we wanted, that we stipulated, and that we wanted it to go to research.
Yeah.
And that to help somebody else out.
I hear you. And I just, just listening to you talk about your son again, it just breaks my heart that you've had to endure this. But I think it's a beautiful way that you're just sharing him with others. I'm sitting here reading your T-shirt. I'm trying to get that top line. What is that top line there? Make every day your personal. is it your personal Tyler Jackson Head Memorial 5K?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
and this was one that we did for when we could not have we decided in
Oh,
COVID.
gotcha. That's what
yeah.
I was trying to catch.
Yeah.
I was like, so make every day your personal Tyler Jackson Head Memorial 5K. So in other words, if you're out there and and make it just something that you really think about him, all the time, which I know you do.
Yeah, no,
For sure.
There's not a day go by that.
No, you can't.
Plus,
you
when
can't
I'm out on the farm with the cows, that's what he wanted to do. We bought the
I remember
farm.
you telling me that. That was all really about him.
Yeah, that he would tell me occasionally because we lived right on Raymond Head Road, and the road down to the farm is behind the house that we built, and where he grew up. And he would say, "Mama, one of these days I'm going to own Mr. Apple's farm."
Oh.
Well, he owns Mr. Apple's farm.
Yeah.
The down payment for when we bought it at auction came from the insurance money.
Oh, wow. So, wow.
So
Oh, bless.
he owns Mr. Apple's farm.
I love it. What a legacy. That's wonderful. So you're doing it for him.
Yeah, we're keeping his memory alive through the cow. Plus, if we didn't love what we were doing, we wouldn't do it. And that's just how it came about, though.
Yeah. Well, how can people be a part of this? So give them all the details. We wanted to get you in here so you could put it on your calendar because it's coming up pretty quickly.
It is.
So tell them how they can get involved in this.
Well, the run itself is February 1st. It's a Saturday. It's at J. Travis Price Park. And registration, we don't really have registration anymore. We'll have registration forms. It's mainly donation now.
Okay.
And you just show up. It starts at 9, so show up around 8, a little after, whenever you want to get there.
Okay.
We'll be there at 7 o'clock or just as soon as they open up the park, usually around 7 o'clock. We'll be there. You can, donation or not, I want you to show up and get a T-shirt. We have probably T-shirts that'll probably be good for the first 200 people that show up. That's about how many we usually get. I usually have some left over. My husband says, "You need to do something with them T-shirts." I said, I've given T-shirts away. I've given them away.
Doing the best I can.
Yeah, doing the best I can. But we've got T-shirts from, if you got a favorite T-shirt from years past, let me know, see if I got your size.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I've got them from years past. But
Okay.
9 o'clock is when it'll start, somewhere around that. We don't hold time. It don't start right at 9 o'clock. Sometimes it's after 9 o'clock, but that's usually what we shoot for.
Is it a timed run? Is it one that?
No.
They have some that are timed and reported and all this kind of stuff. Is it one of those?
No. Well, I say yes and no. It's not. Chuck, Tyler's dad, usually will have a timer for the avid runners. They will have a time part, and there is. I think sometimes he has little prizes for the first 2 or 3 that come in. But there are avid runners that do time them. Mostly, it is just a walk, fun run.
It's a community coming together to remember a young man.
Yes, it is.
And that's wonderful, and to support the family. But I think that's wonderful. And so they just, did you say there was a website where they can go on, or?
Usually we have it posted on my Facebook page, on Chuck's Facebook page, I think, and on Abby's his sister, Abby Head.
Okay, so go through. So just Abby and
Gina and Chuck. Yeah, usually on our Facebook pages. I've seen it. Yeah, Chuck Head and Abby Head, and then Gina Head Heber is our Facebook pages. Of course, we've asked friends and family. If you have a friend that knew Tyler, it's probably on their Facebook page, because we ask people just to help us share it and to help us get out there and promote it, and a lot of people do.
I think that's great. And I think it's just have you seen a few family members that maybe have taken to running since this happened, and maybe they weren't runners before, and they're like, well, I want to do that, and next thing you know, they're runners? Has any of that happened?
No.
Sometimes it does.
No, not. I mean, Chuck and Abby have always been, or have been, runners for a long time already. I'm not a runner. I'm more of like a swimmer. I used to teach water aerobics and spin at the Y and stuff like that, but I'm just not a runner. I do walk. And but I don't. Nobody has specifically told me that they've taken up running because of the 5K. Really,
Yeah, it's gotten them
but
started.
what I asked people to do sometimes too, and they several years ago, I asked them, send me if you go on vacation or you go somewhere and you take your shirt, take a picture
Of where it is.
of where it is,
Yeah.
and with your shirt on, and and people still do that, and I thank them for taking Tyler with them, and there's people that's taking them overseas. There's people taking them to on a mission trip and stuff like that. And it just warms my heart whenever people send me pictures.
I love it.
That with their Tyler head shirt on wherever they are.
That's great. I love it. And we just can't say enough about, just getting involved and being a part of this. And two, telling the story of what happened with Tyler, because we cannot say enough about sharing the story of don't drink and drive, don't, talk about impaired driving, anything that impairs you, whether it be, alcohol, drugs, whatever it might be. Maybe you're not getting enough sleep.
Exactly.
That's something that I think people don't really, and that's something I struggle with. I push myself and I don't get enough rest, and I will find myself getting groggy behind the wheel. And guys, you just don't understand the level of impairedness.
No, impaired is in anything. Yeah. And we were able to, but with the help of Senator Kerry Roberts, and Representative Joe Pitts at the time. He's Mayor Joe Pitts in Clarksville now. I was able to get a sign program, a highway sign, memorial sign program passed through the legislature. And where this is just a reminder for people who have had a loved one killed by a drunk, impaired driver or whatever. You can petition. There's certain criteria, but you can have a sign put up near the spot where they were killed, and it's called Tyler's Law. And the first one was put up down on Madison Street, near where Tyler was killed, and it says impaired driving costs innocent lives. I think that's how it is. And it has their name. It can have their name put there, but you have certain criteria. There has to be a conviction and everything like that.
Do you have an image of that? I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. That's wonderful. When did you do that? When did that start?
Years ago.
See, that's something that, oh my goodness, can you imagine the impact that would have if you had those signs everywhere?
I mean, there's one in Portland that I know of. I used to go on my way to Portland, and it just, I hate seeing them.
Well, you of course hate seeing them, but it's also one of those things that it lets you see these little roadside crosses and things like that. And you know that there's been lost. Right. But when you find out that it's been because of somebody taking a life, because I know several friends. There's a couple of ones right now. I think 3 that I know for certain that lost loved ones because no more than that. Is I'm just kind of sitting here and going through my mind, and I'm not going to start calling names because I don't have their permission to do that. But they've lost a sibling or something like that. And the ones that are popping up in my head right now are siblings. One is Susie Allen won't mind me talking about this, but her grandson was the runner up in Murfreesboro that was hit. Wow, that is amazing. That is amazing. Impaired driving costs innocent lives in memory of Tyler Head. That's amazing. And that's up in
that's on Madison Street in Clarksville.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
And then, like I said, you have to, there's criteria that you have to meet. There's also, I think, a companion law that has, because we didn't think of this whenever we were doing this, but I think it's called Shadows Law. I think that's a girl's name. But this one was where you had to be a conviction. Hers is like if the drunk driver, impaired driver was killed as well as your person, you were able to do this as well. And, a memorial sign. It can be on state roads, cannot be on any interstates.
So say that again.
Tyler's Law, part of the criteria is if there has to be a conviction.
Oh, okay.
Some sort of drunk driving conviction, vehicular homicide, something like that. I can't remember all of the criteria, but there are. And then Shadows Law is sort of a companion that goes to it with for the memorial sign program. That in case of the impaired driver being killed as well, you can have a sign put up near where your loved one was.
Or your impaired driver died, because
Yes.
it's you want, because the tragedy is just the tragedy.
Yeah.
You know, can you send me that picture? I want to
can.
put that up in comments on this so people
will.
can see that. I have not seen those around.
Well, I don't know where they all are. I've asked them to send them a mad. Sometimes
Those against drunk drivers.
Yes.
They've been promoting it, maybe.
I think they help the. There's victims. What do they call victims? Support, or at least for want of a better word, I think they call it something else. But anyway, they kind of help people.
Victims advocates, maybe.
Something, yeah.
Advocates, okay.
They help people if they're interested in doing this or something. And I think I've asked them to send me lists of where these are, but I haven't gotten them yet.
Yeah.
Because I would like to know.
I think so too, because that's what you talk about, legacy right there. When you see those kinds of things on the road, I just don't understand, why you would get behind the wheel when you're impaired and you're impaired.
Right.
And now again, I have to really watch the getting sleepy behind the wheel. I really do. I've had a wreck, falling asleep at the wheel in college. I ended up in a pond.
Wow.
It happens. One of my children fell asleep at the wheel. And it's just a miracle of God that neither one of us got killed or hurt somebody else.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, and you hear about some of the terrible wrecks I covered where somebody fell asleep at the wheel. Truck drivers, that's one of the reasons why you have such strict, much more strict laws now with how long a driver can be behind the wheel of a rig before they are mandated you have to pull over and sleep.
Right.
Because that was a cause of a lot of tractor trailer wrecks.
Right.
And people just falling asleep at the wheel.
Yeah.
But it happens all the time. It's just so much, guys. Just what a wonderful thing you've done in honor of him. I did not know anything about these road signs. That's amazing. That is amazing right there. That's way to go, Mom.
Well, it all started whenever I contacted the mayor down at the time in Clarksville wanting to put something up down there on Madison Street. And she said, well, we don't have anything that would allow you to do that. And she said, plus it's a state road. And so I just sort of started researching memorial sign programs and sort of took one of, I think it was one in North Carolina, I believe, that I probably saw the most, I thought would be the most applicable or something like that. But anyway, just sort of went by that, and I contacted Joe Pitts and I contacted Kerry Roberts, and they started helping me.
I love it. Nick, when we haven't had Kerry in a while. I've been talking to him, guys. He's like, he's tied up with some stuff right now. Hopefully we'll get him in here next month. He's not coming in this month. For a while we were having Kerry in once a month, but again, just some things have been going on that he's just been so busy with. But I'm going to mention this to him because I love the the backstory on this and some of these things that just help people remember. And I'm going to share this with my kiddos at school. Every now and then I have shows that just I want to, they're impactful, and I want them to see that and see that that's something, because these kids are at an age where they're making those decisions to party and not to party and what to do and what not to do. And, maybe this will just make one of them.
Well, and pause. I hope so. But this person who hit Tyler was not even a child. He was 31 years old. He was an adult.
Yeah.
More of an adult than Tyler was.
Wow.
And
did he end up serving time? Is he still in? What is this? Yeah.
You don't want to get me started about that. Well, he got 1 year in prison and 3 years probation.
Unbelievable.
And part of it was because of, I was told that they took his blood at the scene, which they're supposed to do when there's a death. And then I was told that it was taken 3 hours later at Vanderbilt. So by that time they took that reading, and he was under the limit, but we had somebody to extrapolate it backwards from the time he hit Tyler. And that 3 hours of time he hit Tyler, and that person from Chattanooga, he was a forensic, I forget what to call it. Yeah. But anyway, they said he was drunk, but the DA's office said it was a very hard case to
Prosecute.
prosecute.
Yeah, and that's the thing when you get into situations like that. We were hit by a drunk driver when I was in fourth grade. That no one in my car was killed. My mother was severely injured, but his wife nearly died, and their baby that was due any day did die. I mean, she was 9 months pregnant, about to deliver, and they charged him. But he ended up not. I don't think anything ever happened, really with him. But he was charged in that case. But it's amazing, guys. Unless you've been through it, you just really don't have any idea of all of it. When it comes to trying to get a case that will stick and that will be, one that will absolutely, make a difference and things like that.
And I had to fight for every
sure
time
you
he was
did.
in court. I was there,
I'm sure.
and I had to fight for that 1
everything
year
that
and
you
3
did.
years
God
probation.
bless. God bless. Just don't do it, guys. Do not drive impaired, drinking, whatever if you're under prescription medication that could impair you, you need to be thoughtful about it. If you're too sleepy, pull over, walk around, do something.
Yeah.
Don't do it because it could end in the tragedy like it did for Tyler and for his mama and dad and sister and all who loved him. So tell them again, we've got Mandy Christenson coming in from the White House chamber. We have not heard her in forever, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But before she pops in here, tell me again all the particulars of how you can get involved with this, when exactly it is coming up, and I will do my best to keep mentioning it as we come up closer. And we may have you back in too, just
That's
to
fine.
maybe do a quick little hit, say, hey, don't forget it's this week or whatever, in the next couple.
Well, you can contact any of us. I mean, and even Tyler's friends. If you know somebody that's Tyler's friend, they can put you in contact. But you can contact me, Chuck, Abby. My husband, Stephen Heber, if you see him out and about or somewhere and you know him, you can ask him. But it's February 1st, Saturday, February 1st at J. Travis Price Park. The run itself will start around 9 o'clock, and you can register and donate or whatever. Grab a T-shirt starting anytime after we get out there with the park, when the park opens around 7 or 7:15 or something like that.
I love it.
And we'll be there till probably around 12. I mean, something like that, Till the last person leaves, we'll be there. We'll, and everything. So we look forward to seeing you there, and come grab a T-shirt. Just at least say hi. Some of Tyler's classmates will come and just say hi. They may not walk. They may come give me a hug. I hadn't seen them since last year, stuff like that. So
I was just thinking about the reunion aspect of that. You talk about not wanting him to be forgotten. Well, he certainly won't be because of the run. And now with this memorial sign, no, he will not be forgotten, Gina. But I'm telling you, what a sweet idea to have them come together just to remember. And just like you said, that reunion aspect of it that you have every year. I think that's
and
we
just love seeing everybody. We love all the hugs that we get. It hurts.
Sure.
It hurts sometimes, but
yeah, I'm sure
we love seeing everybody and all the hugs and them just remembering Tyler. That's the main thing.
Amen. God bless you, Gina. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your sweet boy with us again this year. And thank you, Lee Marie, for reminding me that it was coming up. Be a part of this, and maybe we can get you back in, right before it, just to remind it, maybe just for a quick hit for something, or if nothing else, maybe we'll get you on the phone or something.
That's fine.
Take care of the cows.
That's right. I just right down the road, though. I'm easy to get.
Mandy's out there. Mandy, are you out there? I'm not hearing her. But anyway, I think she'll be popping in here in a minute. But Mandy Christenson's coming in from the White House chamber. That's a little bit of a drive. And so she'll be coming on in here in just a minute. While we're kind of waiting for her, I tell you what, let me do my ad, and you just poke your head out there and see. And when if she's not here, I want to ask you about taking care of livestock in this kind of cold.
Oh, Lord.
And I have a reason why I'm asking you, okay? But just see if she's out there. If she's out there. But while Gina's checking to see if Mandy's here, I want to talk to you guys about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. And, they switched the name. It was so funny when I got the email that says, we're changing our name, but we're not changing the great team. We're still part of the Exit team. And I knew that would be the case. And I knew that would be the case because when I first met Rebecca, she'd been working in radiology. Is she out there? Okay. She'd been working in radiology, and whenever she decided to go into real estate, what she said is that she wanted to make sure that she signed up with a team that checked every single box, And so she wanted to make sure that, it was a company that could be this, 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 and this. And she had a list. And so I knew when they decided to kind of switch over to their own thing, that they had to stay with Exit. So what they said is it's the same great team. We're just a new branch in the tree. So they were part of the Garden Gate team for many, many years. They switched over and became Exit Prime Realty, and it's been about a year now. And what that means is they took the office that Rebecca works out of, the agency office up in White House, and they combined it with the brokerage office that Barry started here in Springfield, brought them together for the new branch in the Exit Realty tree, Exit Prime Realty. And if you want to connect with them, there's many ways to do it. You can go to sellwithbecky.com, buy, B-U-Y, robertsoncounty.com. You can, of course, Google them. You can look them up. All you got to do is just, put their names in. You're going to get unique web pages, and you're going to get unique Facebook pages because, Barry's always reminded me. I'll say that they're a great team. He says, well, we help each other, but we're kind of in competition against each other. So, but they do, Barry brings that marketing expertise in anywhere it's needed. She is one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. He, 17 years as a media marketing vice president up in Nashville. He brings that to the team. They're just awesome. You're going to love working with them. They're Cross Plainians. They've been there for nearly 30 years, maybe right at 30 years now. But so they specialize in Robertson County properties, but because they've been just all over, they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky, because like me, they're originally from Kentucky. Again, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, B-U-Y, robertsoncounty.com, or give Rebecca a call, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Give them a call today, and be sure and let them know always that you turn 60. And, while we're talking, I'll try to message Mandy and see if she's still on the way, but we'll be checking in with Mandy Christenson from the White House chamber. She's hit some traffic hiccups is what she's telling me, so she's on the way. But while we're waiting for her, okay, so the temperatures this morning, like 8 degrees. And I have a lot of people that I see that keep horses and donkeys and different things like that. And I see them out in this terrible cold. Is that not awful for those animals? Or what do you do when you have this kind of cold and you have livestock? What do you do?
Well, we don't have horses or donkeys or anything like that. We have cattle.
Okay.
So, basically we just make sure their water is good. We have to.
Make sure it's not frozen.
It's not frozen. We have heaters in some of our troughs.
Mm-hmm.
If the heaters we don't have, we have to break the ice to make sure they can drink the water. We put in. We have several hay rings that we put hay out for, and then my husband has also been taking the hay and just shaking it at different points where the cows can bed down. Unfortunately, we had a calf born yesterday morning.
You were telling me in the middle of all this cold.
It's fine.
Wow.
I hate to be generalizing, but it seems like cattle are resilient for the most part. The mamas know what to do.
Yeah.
When they calve, the main thing is to get the calf dry, and the mamas lick it, and then usually we had one calf that was just like. We went down there when it was kind of cold and it was just covered up except for its head. The mamas get the hay down over and cover them up and everything like that.
They know to do it.
One thing about it too,
God's instinct that He just kind of put in them.
Yeah. Yep. And one thing about it too, when you see snow on an animal like a cow's back or something, that snow acts as an insulator. That the cow, the cow is producing warmth. Mm-hmm. When you see that snow on the back, white snow, it's not like melted into ice and stuff like that. But snow is sort of like an insulator as well. But they usually stay around the hay rings a lot. They eat to keep
a lot whenever they're cold. Okay.
When they're cold, they keep that body temperature up and everything like that. But when they've eat all they need, we also give them extra feed. during colder months. I mean, normally we'll feed them every third or fourth day in the winter months, you know, and if they're mamas, if they're calving and they're producing milk. But when it's cold like this, we've been feeding them
A little extra.
more often. I mean, every day, basically, sometimes twice a day. If it's like when we've had these really cold different, we feed them in the morning and feed them in the evening.
So do they stay then in the field?
Yeah.
Completely. I know I'm a farm girl, okay? All right. But we had cattle whenever, and so when I see these horses out, and I'm like, oh, poor horse.
Now, I don't know about horses.
Yeah, but now horses, I'd think, would have to be somewhat similar, and donkeys, and donkeys seem to have a thicker hide and thicker hair. You know, but you know, all of us people who've not raised livestock don't really know. And we raised livestock. There's Miss Mandy. Let me wrap this up. But we had hogs, and we were farrowing to market. So we were in barns. You know, we were not lot farmers, and so we had a big barn operation and stuff whenever we were hog farmers. And my family up in Kentucky, I say me, like my brother's like, yeah, LaVern, you did a lot. I'm sorry, Ben. I'm sorry. But we had cattle when I was a little bitty girl. And so I just didn't know. So since you were here and we were talking about a calf being born while we were getting ready to go on there, I just wanted to ask you about that. So thank you for that insight. And we'll keep remembering Tyler, and thank you for all the work you've done. Be sure and send me a picture of that memorial sign.
Well, I sent it to Lee Marie to send it to you because I don't have your...
Tell her to give you my number.
Okay, I will.
And it's, if you need it, it's 615-594-7736, 615-594-7736. Message me with anything for the show. If you want to come on, if you want to advertise, I know I keep saying I'm going to get some more advertisers, and I've been busy. Anyway.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gina. God bless you. Thank you so much. Mandy, come on in here. I've already done my ad, and we're just going to keep on going. Like I said, I need to get out there and sell some ads. I have Lee Marie's like, well, you need to talk to this one, talk to this. I've just been busy, y'all. I've been busy. I've never been good at being the radio sell. I can sell your stuff like crazy when I'm talking about it. When I go up and ask, do you want to advertise? I'm not good. I'm not that person. I'm not good at that.
It's a gift, really.
It really is. Everybody's like, oh, LaVern, you're so good at sales. I'm good at selling you something I believe in on radio, but when it goes up and I have to, like sell something that's, Mary Kay or something. No, I can't. and I have a hard time, asking for ad dollars but I know I can help. So, hey, if you want me to really pitch you good, you need to be talking to me. Mandy, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
You look lovely.
Thank you.
So I'm so sorry you have a long drive. How long's the drive?
Well, it's normally about a 25-minute, 30-minute drive, and I left with just enough time to get here, and I knew that was a risk, but there was somebody pulled over, and then I got behind a semi, and then I got behind a school bus, and
I understand.
But I tried to be raising teenagers, and so and so I've been kind of talking to them about their attitude determines their day, and so I was like, okay, look, I'm not going to let this, this is just an opportunity to enjoy the scenery. So
my big thing is, and I live 2 miles from the studio, so when I come walking in here late, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. 2 miles, y'all. Okay, so I've been doing much better. Ilyu, yes, I have. That's my boss here. I've been doing so much better. But I will go somewhere, and my thing is, it's like, and sometimes I've given myself plenty of time, and something happened. I'm just like, God's slowing me down for a reason.
Yes.
And having been a traffic reporter, I'm gonna go double back to that for 28 years. Sometimes God's slowing you down so you're not crashing up the road, and you need to just appreciate it and say, okay, God, you're slowing me down for a reason. What do you want me to see? What are you having me avoid?
Yes, yeah.
You're perfectly fine.
I was channeling that this morning.
Seriously. Well, Gina and I learned something new about the stuff that's going on with her son, the memorial signs. I never knew about those. And so I learned something new from her. And then we were talking about taking care of livestock in cold weather.
Oh, yeah.
They're cattle farmers.
Yes.
So there's just all that. Now, I have a couple of things with you.
Okay, sure.
One of my friends, and I'm not going to call you out, but you know who you are. I was talking to them. I'm thinking it was at the Chili Challenge for Open Door in the fall, and said, I love it when you have Mayor Vogel on. I love it when you have Ryan Martin on. Mm-hmm. Why don't you have people from White House on and from Greenbrier? And so that's been my goal. I was like, well, I need to reach out to Mandy because I don't even know who to talk to. I don't have contacts.
Sure.
But, we have on, like tomorrow, Ryan Martin will be coming in.
Yeah.
He's coming in early, by the way. He normally is a 7:30. He's coming in 7 to 7:30 tomorrow because of a meeting challenge. But he'll be in at 7 because they're having the mayor and alderman meeting tonight. And he says, why don't you do that with the other cities? How do I do that with White House?
Well, I can connect you with our mayor or our city administrator, and they may want to alternate because it's a little bit of a challenge to get here sometimes, especially if you've got to juggle your schedule. But we definitely can get you connected with some folks in White House. We've got a new alderman that might even be interested in coming in and giving some reports. So I will connect you with as many people as I can think of.
Thank you. When do they have that meeting? Do they have a mayor and alderman meeting they do here in the city of Springfield?
Yes, it's typically the third Thursday of the month.
Oh, well, that'd be great.
So they just had it this past week. They swore in the new alderman, Jeremy Sisk.
Okay.
And then Mike Wall was unopposed, but they swore both of them in. They had a study session on animal control, and then they had their regular board meeting.
Okay, we couldn't do third Friday. That's a Faith Friday, and so we could do that following. We might could do like the following Tuesday or something.
Sure, yeah.
Or maybe even we could figure it out.
Yeah.
Or we might even could do it day of.
True.
And maybe say, hey, here's what's
on the
up.
agenda. Sure.
That might be a way to do that because, we'll have to work on that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, these are the kinds of things. This is what this show is about. This is about knowing what's going on in our community. And when he said that to me, I thought, man, that's right. And so we really need to do that. So fill us in. What's going on? People forget White House is half in Sumner and half in Robertson.
Right.
And the best half is in Robertson. I'm just saying.
Of course, right?
Come on.
Right.
But do you live on the Robertson or the Sumner side?
I actually live just across in the Sumner County side.
You
I
do.
know. Like, I could throw a rock into Robertson County probably.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of people up there that are like that.
There are
There's
a whole lot
of people.
Yes,
so, well, what's happening in the great city of White House?
Well, we always have just a little bit of a lull at the holidays and starting to ramp back up. And like I said, we just swore in new aldermen. We've got some new leadership in place from a government perspective, and they're always working hard. We've got our new community center that is so close to being finished, but they keep, construction projects always push it out a little bit further. So they're thinking sometime in June is when that's going to open, and it's going to have multiple gyms, walking tracks, exercise facilities. So that's something that everybody is very anxious about.
Heard.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that and the possibilities that brings for the community and some of the things that will be happening there. And of course, the chamber is always busy. We've got a new thing that we are partnered with the National Civics Bee and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce to bring an essay contest to students that are in middle school to help them get excited about civics and talk about the importance of civics. We have a quiz on our website to test your knowledge, and I didn't do as well as I thought I would do on that quiz. And
Is it on Facebook or the actual website?
It's actually on the website.
Okay.
But it's an essay contest for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, and then they move on, and we'll have a live quiz portion of the round. I'm probably going to be talking to you about some of that too a little bit later. And then the finalists from our competition will go on to the state competition, and then those finalists go on to the national competition in D.C., and they can win up to $50,000 in scholarship money.
Oh, that's cool.
It's very exciting.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm trying to make sure I'm going to the right White House chamber because, there's White House, Tennessee. There y'all are.
Yeah.
Make sure. Okay. So I'm looking for you got me. I want to see about this quiz. How do I find it?
I believe it's up under events.
Okay.
And if you go to National Civics Bee.
Okay. I just love this kind of stuff. So
it's lots of fun.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. Y'all are a great chamber. You really are.
Well, thank you.
And I just hear such wonderful things. And I think sometimes I know it's a bit of a drive for you. It's just like when I was telling her what time, I said 7:30 is the late one.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
I was glad when you said 7:30, and I don't mind the drive. It was the it was that long weekend, and then getting up and getting moving, and the cold, and so. But it's good because I'll be ready to go for the rest of the day.
There you go. You're ready and up and going. But and it's just that too. You've got kiddos to deal with.
Yeah.
So I'm still looking for it, but I'll find it here in just a minute. But I love that idea. I always love to challenge people. I have a lot of friends that are immigrants, newcomers, and I've helped a few of them with their citizenships test. And I challenge a lot of my friends. I bet you couldn't pass it.
Oh no, certainly not. I mean, that,
You know,
when
so I
they're
love that you've got
studying,
a
they
civics, yeah.
really know more than we do. And so that
better believe
competition
it.
is open to all
Okay.
middle school students. So if they're homeschooled, if they're Robertson County, Sumner County,
Mm-hmm.
the only chambers in Middle Tennessee that are doing it is our chamber and the Gallatin Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
So a lot of opportunity there, and
I love it.
cash prizes, and just lots of fun too.
That is great. And so so give me again, when is it due? Who and give me we know it's your chamber and
Gallatin.
Gallatin.
Yes, yeah.
And so again, when are the due dates and all that? And have you told everybody about it?
We have been trying to tell everybody about it. The essay portion, it's there's prompts that the students will write based on the prompts that they're given, and the essays are due February 4th.
Okay, that's
Then
coming up.
it's coming up, yes, and we don't have a lot of essays turned in, but we have a weekly call, and they said that's typical with students. And of course, going back to my teenagers, I understand that.
Yes, it is.
So, and then on March 18th is when we will host our live competition. So we'll have 20 students that will move on based on their essay selection, move on to that live competition, and that will have a kind of a Jeopardy question and answer.
fun.
And then there'll also be, once those finalists move on to that, the second part of that is some interaction with the judges that will determine who moves on to the final round.
Very cool. So it's if you go to events, I found it here, National Civics B, and you click on that, and that'll get you all the information on how
Yep.
to enter, and then you've got the quiz that you can text your civics knowledge.
Yes.
So, I'm going to be doing that with my kiddos. Here's my question now. Because of the way, White House Chamber is positioned, is this open to all Robertson County kids?
It is, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. All students in Tennessee, actually.
So even though they're not, okay, because that was one thing you said with Gallatin and y'all doing it, but any kid that is a student in Tennessee
Yes.
can enter. They don't have to be associated with those chambers.
Correct. I think there's
Okay.
7 chambers in the state of Tennessee that are facilitating.
Yeah.
And then the state chamber is facilitating the state competition where they'll move on. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing this quiz live on the air because I'm afraid of how well I'll do. I don't want to embarrass myself.
Right.
I'm pretty good, but I was like, I don't know.
Yes,
Sometimes
yeah.
when you do these quizzes. But what else have you guys got coming up?
Well, that's the big thing that we're working on
Okay.
right now. And of course, we have all of our events. We kind of slow roll into the
Yeah.
year because everybody coming back. January is a little bit slow. We start to ramp up in February. We have our regular events that we have monthly. We've got a networking lunch that's coming up next Tuesday at All Seasons, which is a relatively new restaurant in White House. We've got 2 ribbon cuttings this week. One of them is in collaboration with our friends here in Robertson County for Gentiva Health. So that never slows down. The new businesses and ribbon cuttings and things like that. Our Chairman Celebration, which is our annual event, is coming up March 27th. We are going to have dueling pianos this year.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, so we've done a casino night for several years, and so we're changing it up a little bit to have something kind of new and exciting. And then, of course, we've got Congressman John Rose and Mark Green coming to speak to our membership in April.
Oh, that's great.
So a lot of things happening.
Yeah, because you've got to split the county.
We do,
Because
yeah.
as soon as you said John, it's like, oh, I miss John. I
Yes.
really do. I love him and Chelsea just a lot. And she was putting up all kinds of fun selfies from the inauguration. I was like, she's just digging it. But
Yeah.
very sweet family. And
They're
I don't
fantastic.
really know Mark. I've met him maybe once or twice, and honestly, it's not his fault. I need to make connections and figure out how to get him in here on a
Yes.
regular basis. But we had John in here pretty regularly.
Yes,
so we
yeah.
really got to know each other, and also we ran against each other. People forget that, but just a dear family. They're just so
They're
sweet.
fantastic.
They are really great.
Yes.
And but nonetheless, I think that's kind of that just makes me giggle that you have to have them both in. 'Cause
Yes,
there's
yeah.
still that county split.
It
thing.
is. And so,
yeah.
to that same vein, we will have a State of the Schools where we'll welcome in Dr. Meeks and Dr.
Yes.
Langford from Sumner County, and they'll be speaking in May to our membership.
That's
and
a
so
lot.
it is,
Having to
but
keep up with 2 counties, girl.
well, it's juggling
Ah.
everybody's schedules. That's what's
Yes.
so interesting. So,
Imagine.
yeah.
Oh my goodness, I can't imagine. You got a big job. You do a great job. I hear nothing but just glowing things
Well,
about the
thank
job
you.
you've done. How long have you been in position?
Celebrated my 10th anniversary in
It's
June.
been a minute.
Yeah, it has been.
You
And
love it too, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
You know, and just like anything, sometimes it feels like just yesterday, and sometimes it feels like, oh my gosh, we're still here. So, but it's you know, in big part, it's due to the community and the businesses and the colleagues that I get to collaborate with.
And y'all do. I love your live streams, and you're just on the scene kind of stuff. Y'all really get it going.
We try.
And y'all do an excellent job. I mean, it is a wonderful community, and
It
it is
is.
part of Robertson County, y'all. It's such a rival because you have, I mean, being at Greenbrier. And it's like, we got to play White House Heritage or we got to play White House, and the
Yes.
difference and it's just so funny. And I've got dear friends that have kids at White House, and I have a dear friend, one of my very best friends, who was a teacher forever at White House Heritage and all these things. And you got new people coming into town. They're like, what?
Right.
What
They
is-
don't
get
understand the
confused.
rivalry. Yes, I
And
know.
and trying to keep them clarified on the difference of
right.
White House Heritage versus White House High School.
Oh, absolutely. And that's something that we
Completely
struggle
different
with.
counties.
Exactly.
It's
Even
just
with
like-
people that have moved
yeah.
into the community, maybe
Yeah.
even been there a couple of years, if they don't have children in the school
Yeah.
system, they're just not aware of that
Yeah.
difference.
And
So,
it can
yeah,
be a little confusing.
certainly.
And but so that's wonderful. So and y'all are all just kind of in that little bit of a lull. So, and truth be told, like I said, one of the main reasons I wanted Jen here is because I really want to start these conversations about connecting with your people up there to where we can get those reports like we get.
Yes,
From
yeah.
the mayor and alderman meetings and things like that. So that was one of my biggest, because I knew y'all weren't as busy as you normally are, because it's just that time of year.
It is, yeah. It's hard because everybody's focus shifts, but it's nice to have that time to just take a little bit of a breath and move forward. And I always think it's going to be a little bit slower than it is, and it never is as slow as you're expecting. And part of that's due to the growth and the activity and things that are happening. Since I've been here last, which has been a minute, we had Publix open in White House, so that was
one so bad.
that was very exciting for
Yeah.
us. And Whataburger is very close to being ready to open.
We already got ours.
I know you got that before we
beat
did.
you there.
Yeah. Wingstop just opened, so some
wow.
of the accessory businesses around Publix are starting to open, and we're seeing work happening in those locations. And I mentioned All Seasons; they opened not quite a year ago. I think they may be around
is
9
All
months.
Seasons?
It's a sports bar,
Okay.
kind of an elevated sports bar with a really great menu. They've got some great items on there, and they're great community partners too.
When you talk about the area around Publix, where did Publix go in? Because I'm sitting here trying to remember exactly where they put it in.
They went in directly across the street from our city park on Highway 76.
Okay. So really good access from this side of the.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, any of it. I mean, I'm in White House all the time. I'm just not very observant. Well, my primary care up there, Brittany Jepson, is up there.
Yes,
And-
yeah.
But she moved her office.
Yes,
I don't
yeah.
know where that is. I haven't been since she moved.
Not very far from where she was,
Not
so
very
she
far?
moved over into the
Okay.
Crossroads building. So
Okay.
just a little ways away. Actually, a little
Yeah.
bit closer to you if you're coming from Springfield. So that's a
Okay.
good thing.
Okay.
About a half a mile or so.
Okay.
She's right off of Sage Road.
She's wonderful. You talk about a treasure. in
Oh,
White
she
House.
is amazing. Yes, we
amazing.
love her
She's
so
just
much.
gifted.
She's actually right
she's
across the
gifted.
street from our new assisted living facility.
Okay.
That also has opened since I've been here.
Okay.
And
They
they,
are booming.
yeah, there's a lot of great things happening in White House.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, TriStar, we just got approved to get an ER. TriStar and Sumner Regional both were approved. And so we're working with TriStar to get that groundbreaking underway, and excited about those possibilities and that healthcare
Very needed.
in White House. Absolutely.
Yeah, vital, really
Mm-hmm.
and needed. And what ends up happening with me is I end up getting up to the school and I don't get beyond that. I'll have a meeting at White House Heritage or something like that, because we'll have PD and
Sure.
things that are associated. So I've been there many times lately, but I'm just sitting here thinking, because and when I go to the doctor and different things like that. So I'm in the community a lot, and I've got several friends that live up there, but I'm sitting here thinking, how long has it been since I've been just in the community, just trying to look
Right.
around?
Mm-hmm.
And but like I said, we are jealous of your Publix.
Yes,
We
yeah.
we have great stores. We love all of our stores. There's just some things I can get at Publix I can't get other
Right.
places.
Yes.
Ploshman's mustard, okay? Let's just be real. Let's just be real. Actually, though, I think Walmart's starting to carry that now, so you're doing this good. But it's a northern thing. I don't know if you've discovered the wonders of Ploshman's, but
I'll have to check it out.
no,
Our
it's-
chief of
it's
police
just-
loves their olive bar. They have an olive bar that and he
okay.
just loves that. So he,
yeah. So no, we had one of those at Kroger at one time. I don't know. I guess we still do. And you tell me, when I shop, I have my head down, I have my list, I'm done, I'm out. That's
Yes.
kind of, I'm a big Walmart shopper. I love my Walmart because I can just Walmart and all of these seem to be where and you have all the things. It's like I sit here, and that's when I start saying, oh, we want a Publix. I don't want to give any disregard to the
no.
ones we already have,
Right.
Because if we get a Publix, I'll probably still be shopping the ones I'm shopping all the
Sure.
time. I'm shopping. I go into Kroger just to see my kiddos that work there. I've got students that work in Kroger.
Right.
So you have your reasons for going to the different stores, but there's some things at Publix. I'm telling you, they best sub sandwich ever. That's
do.
where I go for subs.
They
Is
do.
Publix, and
Yes.
so there's just some things I can get at Publix I can't find
sure.
other places.
Well, and it's
But
always
we just love them all.
Exactly, and it's always exciting when a new
Yeah.
business comes to
Sure.
town and new opportunities, and sometimes our existing businesses do see a little bit of a slump when there's that transition, but typically after 2 or 3 months, everybody will kind of normalize their shopping
Yes.
habits again, and so it's exciting to have that opportunity, that diversity for our communities, and for you now, you don't have to go to Goodlettsville or Hendersonville. You can keep those tax base in Robertson County. So that's the best thing. It is.
Publix?
Mhm.
So Publix is in Robertson.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yes.
I know. Mayor Vogel's going. Yeah, it is.
Yes, uh-huh.
Yeah, it is. I know you, Mayor. But okay. Well, that's good to know too. But that's exciting. A lot of exciting things happening just all over our county. White House is just absolutely booming. Just like everything you're
Robertson County is really the place to be right now. It's
we know it
it's
is.
exciting.
We're all excited to be here.
Yes.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm very thankful that God drew me here. Did you grow up here?
I did grow up here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're a local.
I am,
You're a
yes.
local,
Yeah,
so-
a unicorn is what they're starting to call us because we're rare. But I think Robertson
I don't
County
think
has
you're that
more.
rare.
I don't think
There's
so either.
a lot of locals here. There's
Yeah.
a lot of locals here. Unicorns, really. That's funny.
Yeah.
But no, I was praying about looking for land, and we found an ad in the newspaper. Okay, that's back when we did it in the newspaper. Lloyd Cott had some land for sale, and it was actually exactly what we were looking for.
Wow.
And when we pulled up here, and I remember seeing a house with a hill up on like Long Hollow Pike or somewhere when I was looking for land. I was like, man, I'd love to have something like that, just with a hillside because I love hills. And this property was that. It was down in the valley with a hill and with the 2 hills. And I was like, wow, that's like something of what I saw in my mind. And you have those times where you just feel God directing you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You walk in, it feels right.
Yeah. And it was in 1992, y'all, and we never looked back. And so we're very thankful. This is my adopted community, but it is my adopted home and my children's hometown.
Right.
And so
and
we
you've
just
been
love
here
it.
long enough, your grandfathered in.
Yeah, my mother said you're always a Kentuckian, LaVern, and my friends from Kentucky like LaVern, your blood runs blue, but you know how that goes.
Oh, yeah.
No, but this
Those-
is my
back to
adopted
those rivalries,
home. Yes,
yeah.
it is. This is my adopted home, and it's just a wonderful county. Robertson County just really got it going on. So,
It does.
And White House is such a big part of that, and you're doing a fabulous job with the chamber.
Thank you.
I hear so many good things. Anything else that we're missing before we part ways here?
I mean, I think we've
right
kind
here.
of touched on a
Okay.
lot of the things that are. I mean, I could go further into the year, but I know everybody's like me. They just need that first little bit, and that's enough for them to try to remember.
And just remind you to go to the White House, Tennessee Chamber. Google that, and you'll find it. Great website, great Facebook presence. Check out the Civics Bee.
Yes,
that's coming up,
Yep.
and those due dates are early February if you want to get your middle school kids.
Yeah, middle school students, 6th,
And-
7th, and 8th graders.
Uh-huh.
It's an essay that they do it online, submit it online, fill out the form. We've already got judges that have registered to participate. They'll be judged, and then the top 20 essays will be chosen, and they'll go on to a live quiz bowl essentially, and then the finalists from that will go on to the state competition, and there's cash prizes to be won at our level, the state level, and then that national in DC is $50,000. So that's pretty exciting.
That's pretty exciting, but that's scholarship, right?
It is. It's a
$50,000
yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's amazing, guys. Come on. I mean, that's something else. So it's the Civics Bee, and you can find it at the White House, Tennessee Chamber of Commerce. Go and check it out. Check out everything they have going on, and we'll be in touch because we got to get better connected. And like I said, my friend, you know who you are. We're working on it. We're going to get them in here. He's like, gotta.
Yeah, we'll get you hooked up for sure.
Thank you guys for joining us again for 1100 WSGI. Tomorrow we do have Ryan Martin coming in, so be sure and stay tuned for that. And I think I've got Rose from the library coming in tomorrow at 7:30 just to get us an update on our library. We need to do that more often too, because man, they're a great organization. So many wonderful things going on. Steve Hemphill is going to be here on Thursday for the hour. That's going to be an amazing conversation. We're going to be via phone, but always interesting talking to our spiritual warfare minister, Steve Hemphill, and that's on Thursday. So thank you for joining us. This is 1100. And thank you, Mandy.
Thank you.
This is 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a great day.